How to beat up a bully, take his bitch. The Furai Compilation. Object 1. By Richard Skeet. Copyright 2013 Richard Skeet. All rights reserved. Begin introduction. Dedication. The Furai Compilation is dedicated to the freedom of man. Man equals human equals all sexes, races, creeds etc. A Furai uses all of his mind, all of his power, all of his focus, energy, and emotion for one purpose, to earn his freedom, to earn wealth, power, and freedom from bondage or slavery. Once a man becomes a Furai, becomes free of all bondage financial and otherwise, he then uses his considerable power to help others gain freedom. A Furai helps others, not for altruistic reasons, but for selfish reasons. By helping others he becomes wealthier, more powerful, and more free. Keep reading and learn. I welcome you Furai. Begin Furai Compilation. The Furai Compilation. The Furai OS version 12.6 compiled at the request of the Emperor in the year 2XXX. Exact year classified. Translated by Eliezer. Abridged for immediate dissemination. Compilation purpose. In order to free man from his shackles. In order to unleash the forces, indeed, to unleash all of the power of man in order to conquer the universe and ensure man, and not some other creature, dominates the universe. Drastic steps were taken in the not-so-distant future. Begin Object Bully. How to beat up a bully, take his bitch. Version 1.9.7 compiled at the request of the Emperor in the year 2XXX. Exact year classified. Translated by Eliezer. Abridged for immediate dissemination. The object of the Level 1 Furai. Object purpose. To provide a complete training manual for the Level 1 Furai upon completion and careful study of the information contained within this compiled object, and contingent on completion of all the Level 1 assignments, and passing the final exam, the receiver will graduate the first level and become a Level 2 Furai, and be entitled to receive all of the benefits of being a Level 2 Furai. Now I am become death. J. Robert Oppenheimer was an American physicist and the scientific director of the Manhattan Project. In response to a question on his feelings about the atomic bombings, while visiting Japan in 1960, Oppenheimer, "We knew the world would not be the same. Few people laughed, few people cried, most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, 'Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.' I suppose we all thought that, one way or another." Voices from America. Direct programming began shortly after the United States' entry into the war. The first live broadcast to Germany, called Stimmen aus Amerika, Voices from America, took place on February 1, 1942. It was introduced by the Battle Hymn of the Republic and included the pledge, "Today, and every day from now on, we will be with you from America to talk about the war. The news may be good or bad for us, we will always tell you the truth." End introduction. Begin Beaten. Begin chapter. The Meteorite. The Meteorite. Ivan is on his way to work that Friday. A beautiful clear day in the Chelyabinsk Oblast, but cold. The restaurant is not due to open for a few hours, but Ivan wants to go in early to finish up some accounting work. What are the ramifications of unlimited free energy, faster than light travel, time travel? I wonder if man will ever be able to travel back in time. While thinking these thoughts, at that exact moment, Ivan sees a meteorite streaking across the sky, sees the airburst explosion, then a few moments later, feels the concussion that shatters so many windows in Chelyabinsk Oblast. The time is 9:26 a.m. Friday, February 15, 2013. He pulls his vehicle over and records the exact time in his journal. What the fuck was that? Ivan looks at the sky, studies the trajectory of the object. By his calculations, it will take about 20 minutes to get to the meteorite landing site. Ivan hesitates. I must be the first to get there. This meteorite could be very valuable. Ivan stomps the gas. His 500 HP Mercedes engine roars to life. He calls his cousin David. "David, you okay?" Ivan, "Yeah, you?" David, "I'm okay. My house's windows were blown out, so were the restaurant's windows. I was just heading home." Ivan, "I was just headed to work, but I'm going to find that meteorite. I want it." David pauses, then speaks. "I know this is something you have to do. I'm not going to argue. I'll open the restaurant today. and get the windows boarded up. I'll call in another manager. If you get rich on whatever you find, I want a piece of it. Okay, Ivan, deal. Ivan has a Geiger counter in the trunk of his car, a souvenir from the former USSR. Ivan keeps the Geiger counter in his car, so he will always have one with him. Chelyabinsk is the most polluted territory on the planet. Many prior nuclear accidents. Ivan's Geiger counter souvenir is just in case there is ever another nuclear accident, and the government claims radioactive levels are safe. Trust but verify. Ivan drives to the edge of the wooded area the meteorite must have landed in. He gets out of his car. It's got to be within a kilometer of here. Ivan takes out his Geiger counter, turns it on. Sure enough, Ivan begins getting a reading. The radiation levels are higher than normal, but nowhere near dangerous. He starts walking towards the reading. The ground is covered with a layer of hard snow. There is no one around, and no one has been here. The snow is fairly fresh, no footprints. I'm going to be first to the site. I better get there first, and then get the hell out of here. Ivan begins to run, then he sees it. The whole area is pocked with tiny pebble-sized holes in the snow. The meteorite must have shattered into millions of tiny fragments, forming a fairly concentrated, 3-kilometer diameter circle of pockmarked snow. Ivan digs into the first hole in the snow he comes to. He finds nothing. Ivan turns the Geiger counter back on. It leads him to a hole shaded by a tree. He digs into the hole and finds a golf ball-sized fragment. Ivan bends over, picks up the meteorite fragment. As he begins to stand upright, the sky turns black. Recursion. Interviewer. State your name and your position. Bill. I am Bill, Chief Technological Advisor to the Furai Emperor. Interviewer. I am going to ask you a series of questions for the compilation. What is recursion, as it applies to artificial intelligence? Bill. The perfect artificially intelligent, i.e., chess computer program, uses a method called recursion. A recursive chess program plays every possible chess game from beginning to end, and then selects a winning combination of moves, always leading towards victory, or at minimum a tie. When a beginner plays chess, he can usually see one move ahead. If I move here, my opponent's best move will be here. The beginning chess player then values every move, based on his maximum offensive and defensive value, based on his opponent's best move. After he is done moving, when an intermediate chess player plays, he can see a combination of moves ahead. If I move here, he will probably move here, which will allow me to move here, which will lead to a series of events leading to checkmate, the opponent's loss of a piece, gaining board position, etc. An intermediate chess player can usually see 2 to 5 moves ahead. When an expert, a master, plays chess, he is armed with the knowledge of an advanced series of moves. He has studied every great game and attack ever played, and can see several moves ahead. Estimates vary, but it is assumed a master can see 20 plus moves ahead. When a recursive chess program plays chess, this artificial intelligence can see every possible game, and every possible outcome. Strong AI can see an infinite number of moves ahead. It has seen every possible chess game, and every possible outcome. It has invented kill sequences and gambits the human grandmasters on Earth have never seen before. What does this mean? It means if a computer, using strong artificial intelligence, has played and remembers every game ever played, or ever will be played, if the strong AI has seen or invented every possible gambit, leading to every possible outcome, and can effectively see an unlimited number of moves ahead, it would be impossible to beat the strong AI. The best possible scenario for any opponent of this strong AI would be a tie. Another way to look at the power of recursion is this. If a strong AI is able to learn, and never repeat a mistake, thus getting a little better with every game it plays, eventually this strong AI would be impossible to beat. Keep in mind, a computer can play itself. A powerful computer, strong AI, can play itself trillions of times in fractions of a second. So, if it is possible to win a game, and you play against the same opponent an infinite number of times, and your opponent has a finite number of attacks and a finite intelligence and memory, and you never make the same mistake twice, eventually you will beat that opponent every game. Further, if you can play yourself an infinite number of times, and you have unlimited memory, and play every possible game that can never be played, and you never make the same mistake twice, eventually you will be unbeatable. The message. That was weird. Who the hell is Bill? Am I hallucinating? Ivan looks up to the sky. It transforms instantly from a sunny day to the blackest black. A black sky with no stars, no moon. Ivan looks at his watch, 9:45 a.m. He looks at his cell phone, 9:45 a.m. the 15th of February 13. What the fuck? Directly above Ivan a bright light forms. The sky is like a black piece of construction paper with a pinhole in it. Through the pinhole, the most brilliant light. The light in the sky illuminates the area around Ivan, like a spotlight shining on a stage actor. Ivan begins walking, attempting to flee the spotlight. He then begins to run. The light is getting brighter and brighter now, still directed at him. The hole in the black sky is opening up larger and larger, and no matter how fast he runs, no matter what direction, he cannot escape the focus of the spotlight in the sky. It is warm. He feels the warmth on his skin. Within the bright light, a rotating dark spot now forms, and now a vortex forms. He feels himself being tugged upwards by ever-increasing winds. The vortex sucks Ivan's hat right off of his head, and still the upwards force increases. He runs to a nearby tree, wraps his arms around it, in a bear hug for dear life. Ivan hears a loud, reverberating voice, "Let go, you will not be harmed." Ivan hugs the tree with all of his might. Now his feet are in the air. Ivan is upside down, holding on with every ounce of his being. "I will not submit." Again the loud, reverberating voice, "Let go." Ivan can feel the pressure, so great now it is pulling his skin. His muscles give way. Ivan flies, flailing, upwards, into the sky rapidly. He sees the earth beneath him, zooming away from him at ever-increasing speed. Objects on the earth getting smaller and smaller. Ivan is now miles in the air. Ivan takes a deep breath. Soon the air will be getting thin. Soon I will be in a vacuum and explode. Again the loud, reverberating voice, "Do not be afraid, Ivan. You have been chosen. No harm will come to you." A kaleidoscope of colors is swirling around Ivan now, so bright he can no longer see the earth. There is no more sensation of gravity, no more sensation of suction, no more orientation of up and down, just a warm comforting sensation, and bright, bright colors. After being pulled through the vortex, Ivan sees what looks to be a stadium beneath him, with hundreds of thousands of people seated. Ivan is falling now, rapidly. He begins to feel the sensations of gravity, and the sensation of atmosphere blowing his face back, as he descends. Yet, he is no longer afraid. Again the loud, reverberating voice, "Good. Trust in your instinct. No harm will come to you. If we wanted you dead, Ivan, you would be." Falling, faster and faster now. In the last 1,000 feet, Ivan's body is rotated, so that his feet are now pointing towards the ground. His speed is slowed, and he is gently placed in the middle of the field, a sea of faces, hundreds of thousands, all observing him. It is an American football field. He recognizes the gridiron lines, the goalposts. The stadium is much bigger than any ever built on the earth. Damn, I'd hate to be in the cheap seats in this place. Again the loud, reverberating voice, "You are thinking like a man from 2013. We, those that surround and observe you now, have augmented reality vision. Our eyes are complex machines capable of great telescopic vision, capable of seeing in different spectrums, microwaves, radio waves, infrared, ultraviolet. There are no cheap seats here. Welcome to the future." There is one man on the field with him. Ivan can barely see the outline of his face. He's about 75 yards away. Again the loud, reverberating voice, "Let me show you how we see you." Instantly Ivan's vision changes. Ivan is able to focus on the man 75 yards away, as if they are face to face. Again the loud, reverberating voice, "Why stop there?" The man on the field is talking to him, but his lips are not moving. Again the loud, reverberating voice, "Yes, I am communicating with you telepathically, in your language, and I don't speak Russian. Let me show you what our eyes can do." Ivan is able to focus onto a point on the man's skin. At the cellular level, he can actually see this man's skin cells. At 75 yards away, Ivan is able to focus on anyone in the crowd this way. He quickly finds a great set of tits. Again the loud, reverberating voice, "Yup, you're from 2013. Ivan zooms out, and the face connected to the great rack smiles at him. Again the loud, reverberating voice, "Now watch this." Ivan sees inside her chest. He sees her complete skeletal structure, Her rib cage is expanding and contracting with every breath. Her circulatory system. He sees through her clothes. She is naked before him. He sees her heartbeat increase. He sees the blood rush to her face. Again the loud, reverberating voice. Never seen a blush from the inside, have you, Ivan? Let me show you how we hear. Immediately, Ivan can hear everyone in the stadium breathing. No one is talking. Ivan can hear the sounds of hundreds of thousands of people breathing. Again the loud, reverberating voice. Why stop there? Ivan listens now to the sound of hundreds of thousands of heartbeats. Again the loud, reverberating voice. Why stop there? Ivan now focuses his hearing on the same woman. In a stadium of hundreds of thousands, Ivan can hear her individual heartbeat and filter out all the rest. He can hear her blink. He can hear the sounds of the blood rushing through her heart. He can hear the sounds of her cells replicating, of nutrients within her, being absorbed through osmosis. Again the loud, reverberating voice. You seem to like her, say something to her. Ivan yells as loud as he can. Prove it. The stadium bursts into laughter. Ivan feels embarrassment. What did I do? Again the loud, reverberating voice. That was funny, to us, on so many levels. For one thing, when we communicate audibly, which is rare, we generally communicate with people, audibly, in their native tongue. She is from Sweden. Instantly, Ivan is transported to Sweden. He has a guide, a pocket full of money. Ivan gets a small apartment. He lives there, in Sweden. Ivan studies Swedish every day, dates many Swedish women, has many Swedish friends, tours the country. Ivan lives in Sweden for 25 years, 25 springs, summers, winters, falls, 9,131 days, with leap years. He wakes up every day, shaves, goes to work, meets many people, Swedish television, Swedish newspapers. He is employed at the university as a Russian tutor. Again the loud, reverberating voice. Do you feel comfortable speaking Swedish now? Ivan is, instantaneously, back in the football stadium. Ivan is disoriented. Ivan now remembers his life in the Chelyabinsk Oblast, the meteorite. He set out to investigate the vortex. He was sucked through the stadium. The woman in the stands, with the great tits. She is still there. No time has elapsed. Although, Ivan has just lived 25 years. Again the crowd burst into laughter. What did I do now? Ivan realizes that he has just lived 25 years in a millisecond. 25 years of memories. He can speak Swedish without a Russian accent if he chooses. What the fuck just happened? Have I aged 25 years? Again the crowd bursts into laughter. The whole stadium can hear my thoughts. Again the crowd bursts into laughter. How come I can only hear your thoughts? Ivan asks the man 75 yards in front of him, without moving his mouth. Again the loud, reverberating voice. Because your brain has not been fully augmented, I am giving you a taste of augmented reality. In order to truly experience augmented reality, you would need to be networked fully into our intelligence. You would need far more brain processing power. Everyone in this stadium is talking with thousands, or even millions of people, simultaneously, all while seemingly they focus their undivided attention on you. They have all come here to see you, but none of them is communicating with you. You have not the brain capacity to handle even 3 conversations at once, with your biological human brain. Hundreds of thousands of voices and conversations would be impossibly terrifying to you. I am so fucking lost. Again the loud, reverberating voice. Let me help you. Instantly, Ivan is in a large opulent office. A desk is between the two of them. Behind the desk, the man, that was just 75 yards away from him. The office is oval in shape. The floor is shiny black. The walls appear to be made of wood. There is a strange flag behind the desk. It looks similar to a yin and yang symbol. Again the loud, reverberating voice. The flag is the Furai symbol. It is an ancient samurai symbol. It is a sigil, a magic symbol. The symbol is everything the Furai teaches, all Furai-maic, philosophy, knowledge, technology, etc. No windows. Instantly the walls become transparent. They are high above a great city. It is night time. The city is illuminated and alive. Holographic advertisements. People miles below walking to and from events. No cars. Again the loud, reverberating voice. Cars are not allowed in the sector around the palace. This is the imperial city. I am the emperor. Those people in the stadium observing you are still observing you. You just can't see them. We wanted to greet you in the stadium, to show you a sample of how many people actively care about you. In reality, in my time, there are billions of people watching you right now. Those hundreds of thousands you saw, they just bought tickets to see me. Again the loud, reverberating voice. We will get into that later. For now, what is important to understand is, this is the future of man. We have conquered the galaxy. We live in peace with one another. Each person is free to do or pursue whatever they wish, as often as they wish. You actually did live in Sweden for 25 years in a millisecond. You will have those memories forever. But the experience was not real in the way you think of real. Virtual reality is perfected in my time. With nerve induction, virtual reality or augmented reality, is what we like to call it, was perfected long ago. Every man is now immortal. We are hybrid beings, part man, part machine. We are networked to one another, and a vast confederation that spans the entire Milky Way galaxy and trillions of lives. You have gotten a small introduction to that power today. You spent 25 years learning to speak Swedish like a native, but you could have just as easily learned to master a musical instrument, become a physician, learned advanced computer science, etc. All of these things can occur in a millisecond. Additionally, artificial intelligence has been perfected, as has cloning. So, a man can split himself into two immortal beings, with separate bodies, each experiencing a different, separate life. These two beings can refuse back with one another seconds, minutes, hours, even years, or decades later. Right now, while I am talking with you, I appear to be giving you my undivided attention, but I'm not. You are actually communicating with a small portion of my brain. Right now, I am monitoring the stock markets, judging an important trial, negotiating a treaty, spending time with my children, walking on the beach with one of my many wives, having sex with another of my wives, overseeing a construction project, commanding an army, and a war of conquest, against an alien race, and having face-to-face conversations with hundreds of millions of the empire's inhabitants. You see, citizens, in this time, have real access to their leaders. The emperor is everyone's close friend, everyone's confidant. I arbitrate marriages, judge treaties, etc. I am trusted by the people. How is that possible? Let me give you an illustration from your time. Ever use a search engine? Sure, Google. Every second Google answers millions of questions simultaneously. From the end user's perspective, Google is giving them undivided attention. From Google's perspective, Google's servers are being deluged with millions of questions at once. When a new question is asked of Google, Google's servers process the individual request in parallel, adding server horsepower as needed. In real time, my brain can be thought of as millions of microprocessors, each with my unique personality, each with my knowledge, each with my judgment. I can divide myself into infinite pieces, and add more server horsepower on the fly. Every man in the galaxy, including that beautiful Swedish woman you introduced yourself to today in Russian, has this same capability. We communicate with one another through the network, instantaneously, through quantum computing. A message can instantly traverse the galaxy, crossing 100,000 light years. That Swedish woman you saw is actually 500 light years away. Yet if the two of you wanted, you could date, get married, have sex, without ever traveling afoot. The emperor snaps his fingers. The Swedish beauty appears on Ivan's lap, smiles, rubs Ivan's prick, and gives Ivan a kiss on the cheek. She is warm, soft, her hair smells of warm apples. Ivan wraps his arms around her, gives her a squeeze. Instantly, Ivan and the Swedish beauty are in her bedroom. They have sex, smoke a cigarette, have a long conversation on a deck, overlooking a great red ocean, under a warm tropical sky. The Swedish beauty, I have to go now, or rather, you have to go now. I have more to show you. Unfortunately, your cache is nearly overflowing. Cache, computing an auxiliary memory from which high-speed retrieval is possible. Wait, Ivan and the emperor are back in the stadium. Ivan scans the crowd, and she is there. She winks at him and smiles. You are not really here, as you may have guessed. That vortex you were sucked through was just to get your attention. A metaphor. I wanted to introduce you to us. We are the Furai. We want you to join us. Furai, Furai, a follower of the Furai life system that has attained its highest rank. All followers of the Furai life system, same word singular and plural, the Furai, the leader of the Furai organization. Instantly the stadium erupts into applause. In unison the stadium crowd is chanting, Ivan, Ivan, why am I here? Why am I here? The Emperor, you are here because you were chosen by us, you have chosen us. You are here to receive a message, communicated from our time to your time. It will take a few days to communicate this message to you, for reasons that will only become entirely clear after the entire message is received by you.